No bueno. So this is for you, Kylie, because I saw that you got kicked off. Anyways, a phrase is a group of words. Sometimes it has a verb, but most of the time it does not. So that's kind of the rule of thumb, is a phrase does not usually have a verb. Every once in a while it does, but it's mostly just nouns and whatever else, articles and things like that. The most common phrase is the prepositional phrase, which never has a verb. That's the most common one, never has a verb. A clause is a group of words that does contain both a subject and a verb. So the difference is phrase, no verb, clause, verb. A main clause stands alone as a sentence. It expresses a complete thought. A dependent clause cannot stand alone as a sentence. It must be added to a sentence that is already complete. And here are the clauses: who, which, you know that. That clauses, we've been looking for those in this book. And the adverb clause, remember that's the www.asia one. All right, so here we're going to take turns reading these groups of words right here, and you're going to decide, is it a phrase or is it a clause? So after you read the words, you're going to think, does it have a verb? If it has a verb, it's a clause. If it does not have a verb, it's a phrase. Okay, so I'll do the first one, and then you guys are going to take turns with the rest. So he approached the log. Approached is a verb. It's an action. It's what he did. So that means it's a clause. So go ahead and circle clause for that first one there. And now I'm going to have Ian do the next one. So read the words first. Ian, go ahead and read the words first.
Near the tall oak tree.
Okay, do you see a verb there?
A verb, near.
No. Near is a preposition.
Oh.
So there's no verb, right? There's no verb here. So is that a phrase or a clause?
Phrase.
Good. So circle phrase. Natalia, read the next one.
That was 100 years old.
Good. Do you see a verb at all in there?
Was?
Yes. Good. Was is a verb. So does that mean it's a phrase or a clause?
Clause.
Good. Jason, next one.
I think it's a clause.
Yes, because we have the word stood, right? Because that is a verb. So that makes it a clause. Back to Ian, read the next one.
Beneath a full moon.
Okay, phrase or clause?
Clause.
No, because beneath is a preposition. It's not a verb. So it's a phrase. If it doesn't have a verb, it's a phrase. And then it looks like Natalia stepped away for a second. So Jason, read the next one.
Which shone brightly.
Okay, good. And which one is it, phrase or clause?
I think it's a phrase because it has a verb, but it doesn't have a subject.
You're right. It has a verb, so that makes it a clause, actually. So if it has a verb, it's a clause. If it does not have a verb, it's a phrase. So it's actually a clause, okay?
Question.
Mhm.
So at the top, it says a clause is a group of related words that contains both a subject and a verb.
Yes. And the subject is which in that group of words, because remember a who which clause, the subject is always who or which. So
Okay, my bad, sorry.
no, that's okay. That's good. I had to think about it for a second because I was like, wait, you're right, though it does have a subject verb. So like here, stranger stood, that's the subject, that's the verb. Was 100, so that is the subject, was is the verb. Up here, he approached. So you're right, it does need a subject and verb, and for a who which, it's the who or which. Down here, it says dependent clauses begin with a word that causes them to be an incomplete thought. Draw lines to connect the type of clauses to the word that would begin that clause. They gave you one, adverb clause. Remember, the adverb clause is the www.asia. Do you see any other of those www.asia words in here? We'll start with adverb clause. You remember what those
As?
were? Good. As is one. Good. Jason?
When.
When is one. Good. I'm just going to kind of like make it touch. You can make it squirrely. Jason again.
While.
Good. Remember, it's when, while, where, as, since, if, although. We have if. So Natalia, what else?
Since?
Good. Since. Now let's go over here to the who which clause. So Ian, what two words begin a who or a which clause?
The who and the which?
There you go. Good. Who, and then I'm just going to kind of go through all this over here to the which. You're just connecting those. How about that clause, Jason? What does that begin with?
This is gonna sound crazy, but I think it begins with that.
I love your sarcasm. And then we have the word none. That goes to the rest of them. So then and at and it, those do not begin a clause. Okay, those are just extra words that they threw in there to throw you off. Okay, so we're done with that. Oh, no, we're not done. Sorry, hold on. At the bottom, it says, and Ian, are you paying attention? Because it looks like you're doing something on the computer. Every clause contains a blank and a blank. And Jason said it earlier. Does anybody else? I know Jason knows it. Do you know what that is? Oh, Natalia does. Okay, so what should we put there? Every clause has a or contains a
Subject and a verb?
good subject and verb. So go ahead and write those in. Write them in, Ian. Subject and verb at the bottom of your page. This is page 97. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn to the next page. I don't think there's anything on the back, so we're going to go to the practice page next. And Ian, go ahead and read the sentence today.
Until that.
You're good.
Oh, it just exited out of my thing. Like it put it on my home screen, so I didn't know what was gonna. All right.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Until that day, Robin had never met a larger man. Usually, Robin towered over others.
Okay, good. And there's a lot of things we need to fix here, but towered just means that he's taller, right? He's a lot taller than the others. So put a check by vocabulary. And then there's only one article, so go ahead and find it and mark that by yourself. And then we have some nouns. So Jason, where are the 4 nouns?
Day, Robin, man, and Robin.
Good. Natalia, how about the pronoun? So that's basically a word that takes a place of a noun.
Met.
No, that's going to be a verb. So it's one that's unusual. It's others actually, right here. So he towered over others, and it's referring to other people or other soldiers. So this is that's the pronoun is others. And then Natalia, what about the adjective? So what words give a little more information about the the nouns?
Until.
No, not until, but look, what day was it?
That day.
That day. There you go, that. Uh-huh. That's one.
Larger.
Yes, there you go. Good. Ian, how about the adverbs? There's two of those.
Towered.
Not towered. There's one that has ly. That's the easiest one to spot.
Oh, usually.
Usually is one. And then the other one is describing like how often.
Oh, never.
There you go. That's an adverb. So usually and never. So both of those tell how often, really. We're going to skip prepositional phrases and come back to that. I'm going to skip down here to subject verb pairs, because once we find those, it's going to be easier to identify the main clauses. So Jason, where are the verbs? We're looking for action or helping or linking.
Met.
Yep, met is one. Two more.
Two more? Oh, yeah, sorry. I think had,
Yes, that is a linking verb.
and towered.
Good. Now, what are the subjects that match those verbs, Natalia?
Man.
Man is the noun, but if you look at this verb here, had never met, who had never met? Who are we talking?
Robin.
There we go. Robin is one. And then who towered over others?
Robin.
Second sentence. Yep. So that's how you do it. You find the verbs and then you ask who, and that'll help you find the subjects. Now, Ian, we have two main clauses. They both have subject verb pairs. I am going to give you a clue. It's not going to include the opener, okay?
Oh, okay.
There's two openers here to these sentences, so you're not going to include those words, but the main clause has a subject and verb.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Other
Well,
over others?
that doesn't have a subject and verb. We're talking about main clauses here, okay? Not the prepositional phrases yet. We haven't done prepositional phrases yet, so we're looking for a main clause. You're close, but it's got to include the subject and verb together.
Robin towered over others?
There you go. That's one, and there's one more.
Oh, I thought we were doing the prepositional phrases.
Not yet, but you were right about that, but we're not doing those yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Main clause.
Okay. Robin had never met a larger man.
Yes, good. That's right. Now, let's look for that prepositional phrase. There's two of them, prepositional phrases. Jason, do you know where they are?
I think met a larger man is one.
No, because remember, it doesn't have a label on the preposition.
Sorry, until that day.
There you go. Until that day is one, and where's the other one?
Over others.
There you go. You got it.
I also have a question. Sorry.
Okay.
Why don't we put the main clauses at the beginning of the sentence? Just curious.
Well, because now you guys learned openers, and that's new for you. There's 2 different openers that we've learned, or maybe 3 now. But this is just adding style to writing. And so the main clause is a complete thought. It's a good question. I like that question, Jason. But anytime you look for a main clause, you're looking for a complete thought. These are just leading into the main thought. So these are considered openers. They're not necessary. Like you could still have the sentence that just said, Robin had never met a larger man. That could be a sentence by itself. So that's what you're looking for. This is just a little extra information here at the beginning. So, Natalia, does that help you actually, Jason?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Natalia, what kind of an opener is this one?
Prepositional.
Yes, good. Do you remember what number that is?
2.
Yes, good. So put a 2 with a circle and put prepositional. And then Ian, what kind of an opener is this one? You remember?
An adverb opener?
Yeah, it's called an LY adverb opener, but you're right. It's a number 3. Good. So put 3 and then put LY adverb. It's an LY adverb opener. Good. All right. And then Jason, we've got 4 capitals here. I don't know if you're saying it yet, but you're muted.
Are you talking to me?
I was.
Sorry, I
That's all
didn't
right.
hear anything.
Where are that's okay. The 4
The capitals?
capitals. Yeah.
Until
Okay.
Robin,
Good.
usually
Yes.
Robin.
Okay, good.
It's usually Robin with the
And usually
capitals.
Robin. 2 end marks, Natalia, where do those go?
A period after man and a period after others.
Yes, there you go. Good. Because these were 2 sentences. We kind of noticed that right away because it was awkward reading that without the period, but awesome. Okay, phew. You can jump around your list, on there. And if you're like really confident with your prepositional phrases, you don't have to wait on those, but if it helps you skip that, come back to it, whatever you need to do. So your homework for this week for grammar is pages 100, 101, and 102. Okay. Good job, guys. Go ahead and get your binders out. Now we're going to get out Captain Cook. You guys finished up that one. I was going to ask Jason, do you mind if I share your homework with the class?
I am terrible with saying yes or no because I don't really understand mine. You may.
Okay, how about can I share your homework with the class?
Sure.
Okay.
Whenever I say yes, do you mind? Yes basically means I do mind, but so I get confused over that word.
That's okay. That is okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, hold on. I gotta share this first. Thank you I just want to share because I wanted the rest of the class to see how you did your topic clinchers and how you did your dress up words and all that. Remember, guys, that's how I grade your work. I haven't graded it yet, Jason, but I am going to give it a 10. I'll give you a heads up on that because I really like how you nailed your topic clinchers and your dress up words, and it's very well written. So I don't have time to read the whole thing, but I do want, yes, I like that little party emoji. I want to point out here to Ian and Natalia and Kylie. I know she's probably going to watch this later. See how he has poor right here and person and England in bold. This is the first sentence of his paragraph. Look at the last sentence of his paragraph down here. He has poor, person, England. That follows the rule. Remember, the rule is repeat or reflect 2 or 3 key words. You guys know that rule now. So he repeated poor, poor, person, person, England, England. Look at the second paragraph. Uneducated and smartest. Now look at the last sentence, uneducated, and he has smart. It's a little bit different because it doesn't have the ending est on it, but it's reflecting, right? It has the same base word, really, smart. And then the last paragraph, not die peacefully. And then at the end here, not die peacefully. So he has those 3 keywords that are repeating. So I wanted you to see visually what that looks like, the topic clinchers, and I do expect it to be on each paragraph. And then if you look at his underlined words, he's got because, which, surprisingly, moved. All 4 of his dress ups are there in the first paragraph. For the second paragraph, he has which, discovered, highly, and because. Those are all the dress ups. Third paragraph, returned, because, tragically, and who. Good job, Jason. And I'm going to read it in detail later because I want to have time for our lesson today. But everybody, thank you, Natalia. That's good. Yeah. Everybody see how he did this. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to your parents about this next week. So really pay attention to the topic clinchers. Some students are still highlighting or bolding words in the middle of the paragraph, and that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the topic sentence and the clincher sentence, the first and the last. So nicely done, Jason. Good job. Now, if you are finished, I think all of you are with Captain Cook. Everybody's finished with that report, right? Good. Go ahead and put Captain Cook away in the finished compositions. If you use a separate binder for that, go ahead and put it away wherever you keep your stuff. Behind finished compositions or another binder, wherever you keep your stuff. We're putting away week 9. And then you're going to get out week 10 from the front of the binder. So Ian, get out week 10. Got to put away week 9. I should see you moving in your binder, getting things out, put away behind finished compositions, week 9, which was Captain Cook, and then week 10 is behind source text tab. That's the front tab, source text, and you're going to get out week 10 called drone. And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 pages to get out. Just kidding, 5 pages. 5 pages. And then when you see, well, mine isn't right here, but when you see week 11, leave that in there. Just get out week 10.
My week 11 is different than yours.
Yeah, no, it's the same. I already have taken that one out for a different class. But just leave week 11 in there.
The Dora Bora, the dog, and the table.
Yeah, leave that in there. That's right. You're just getting out week 10. And you need a lined piece of paper. So go ahead and get a lined piece of paper out too.
So it's really six. So it's
Yeah.
really 6 pages?
Technically 6 if you count the line paper, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna start with your notes because we're moving into a new unit now. And so I'm gonna go through some notes with you first. So get your line paper out first. Go ahead and set it up with your name and date. And today is February, so it's 2/1/24. Name goes there and then the date. And this one is called, and skip a line, and you're gonna call this Unit 5. It's called Writing from Pictures. We just finished a report on Captain Cook. That was academic writing. And when you write a report, it's like a book report. You read information, you summarize what you learned, and you put it into a summary. And you're telling some, SOME, of the information from what you read. We're going to take a break from academic writing. We're not going to write a report or research paper or anything. We're going to do some creative writing. A lot of times people either like report writing or creative writing. I want to know what you guys think. Ian, do you like to make up your own characters and situation? And do you like creative writing or do you like to write a report about something?
Creative writing.
Creative. How
I
about you,
used to-
Natalia? Oh, go
I
ahead.
I used to do creative writing in my class, and I created I would create storyboards, and then I would create like, have you ever read The Hobbit?
Yes, I
You
have.
know how they have their own language?
Yes.
I did that. I
Okay.
created my own language out of it.
Very cool. Yeah, that's good. You do like creative writing, I can tell. How about Natalia, do you like creative writing or report writing? If you had to pick.
I don't know.
You're like, I don't like either one, right? That's okay. I have to tell you, I don't really like writing either, even though I'm your writing teacher. I don't. I'd rather do other things, but I struggle with creative writing, honestly. I struggle with that. It's harder for me to write creatively than to write a report about somebody or something. But Jason, how about you? Which do you prefer if you had to pick?
Probably creative. However, there is a time when my brain's just like, what am I gonna do? So, if you force me to do something, then I'll probably end up doing it.
Great answer. I love your honesty. It's great. It's great. And you know what? I hate that feeling when you get an assignment and maybe the assignment is something like, write about what you did during summer vacation. I always hated that prompt when I come to school, after summer, you get into your new class and you're getting situated in the prompt, the teacher says, write about what you did this summer. And it was like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what I did this summer. And I don't even know where to start. How do I start this? Do I just say in the summer? I don't know if you've ever had that problem. Like, how do I come up with good stuff to write about? And then I don't know about you, if you've ever written a story and then you go back and read it and you're like, man, that's kind of boring. I don't really like my story. It's kind of blah. Yeah, I struggle with that a lot. Jason, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just a comment. What's even worse is that when they say do a prompt that's the same amount of paragraphs or sentences as the
Yeah.
summer break one, but over the weekend. And that's because you have a much shorter span to put in with all those sentences, the requirement. And so I've always had
Okay.
problems with that.
I can relate completely. So guess what? I'm going to give you some tools that hopefully that won't ever happen again, because this is going to help you so much when you write a story. So you're going to see something on this page in a minute that we're going to look at, and it's called central, go ahead and skip a line and put central fact here. And then I want you to put a colon, and I want you to write this question. What is literally happening in the picture? So go ahead and write that down, Ian. What is literally happening in the picture? That's what the central fact is when you're looking at a picture. So the good news is you're going to have some pictures to look at to help you come up with a story. So the central fact is the first thing you're going to look at is what is in the picture. Then you're going to have to come up with some details. And this is where I'm going to give you some ideas and tools on how to do that. Skip a line and put details, colon. Now, before I get into that, this is a tricky question. I want to see if you guys can give me a good answer. It's a tough one. Can anybody tell me, how do you think? What is the process that happens when you're thinking? Anybody have any ideas on how to explain that? Okay, Jason.
So your brain sorry, what was the question again? Just to make sure I understand this
Yes.
fully.
How do we think?
Okay.
What's the process? Yeah.
Usually when you start, your brain's already thinking, you just don't know it. No matter what, it has to think. Referring back to Mike the Headless Chicken, he had to think of breathing rates and all that stuff. But when you have the, oh, I just got an idea moment, your brain processes that, and then depending how good or horrible it is, you decide what to do next.
Good. I actually
So your brain
like
is how
that.
you think all the way.
Okay. It's hard to explain thinking without using the word thinking because it's hard to explain that. Anybody else want to add to that? How do we think? What happens when we think? Okay. I agree with you, Jason. That was a good explanation. And then the other thing that happens is you ask yourself questions. And this happens naturally. You don't even realize you're doing it. But let's say you want to, let's see, watch a movie on TV, okay, Netflix or whatever. And you decide you want to watch a movie. One of the first questions your mom is like, okay, you're done with your homework, you're done with your chores, you don't have anything to do. I'm going to let you watch a movie. And maybe it's a weekend or whatever, okay? The first thing you think is, what do I want to watch? You're asking yourself a question. What do I feel like watching? Do I want to watch a comedy? Do I want to watch a action movie? Do I want to watch sci-fi? I mean, you start asking yourself, what do I want to watch? And then the next question is probably, where's the remote, right? Where is the remote so I can turn this thing on? And
Relatable.
So naturally, what you do is ask questions. That is true every single time you think about anything. Even if you're on the internet and you come across something and you have a question about it, right? Because maybe it's information that you've never heard before. And you ask yourself, what does that mean? And why are they saying this? And how do I find out more information about this? That's happening naturally inside your brain, but that's something that you can practice too. So in this part of my class, you're going to practice asking yourself questions to come up with ideas. Because here's the thing. The only way to write creatively is to access something that's already in your brain, something you've already experienced, something you've already read or you saw. That stuff is already there. So asking questions accesses the information that's already inside your head. Okay, so for details here, we're going to put ask questions. And I'm going to put exclamation point because you got to ask questions. Now, there's something called the big 6 question words. And those are the words that are at the beginning of question sentences. Does anybody know what the big 6 are? Jason knows. Go for it, Jason.
I think it starts like when, what, where, why, how, and then I forgot the last one.
It starts with who. You had all the rest of them
Ah.
right. Who, what, when, where. Go ahead and make a list here. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. How is the only one that does not start with a W. And then I'm just gonna have you draw a big question mark next to those words.
How does how not have a W? That's why it's how.
Yeah, I don't know. It's English. English is weird like that. Ian, are you writing all this down? I don't see you writing. You get your pencil out or your pen. These are the big 6 questions. And then I want you to draw a line under how, because when we're doing this process of writing about pictures, there's a few more things I want you to ask. And it's going to sound weird, but I want you to just write this down and then I'll explain it. Put the word outside and then the word invisible and then before and after. And then we're going to do another question mark by those words. Like that. So we got who, what, when, where, why, how. Those are the big 6. Outside, invisible, before, and after. You wrote all that down, Ian? Okay. Okay. Now I want you to turn to the page that has the pictures for this week. It's page 93. This page has 3 pictures. It also has a handy dandy keyword outline already set up for you, which is kind of nice. So when we're accessing information or ideas from our own brain, you're going to go through those big 6. And then, like I said, the other questions at the bottom here, like outside, that means maybe think of something that's happening outside the frame of the picture that we don't see. It could be a big crowd of people. It could be that he's, at a special place that we can't see. Could be at a restaurant, could be at Disneyland. I don't know. So and that's what outside means, outside of the frame of the picture. And then I have the word invisible. You can think of what could be invisible here that we can't see next to him. Maybe he's got friends standing next to him. Maybe he has aliens standing next to him. I don't know. You guys can get creative on, maybe he's with a bunch of animals at the zoo. I don't know. You can make up stuff, but you can think of maybe something that's invisible that we can't see. And then before and after are the other 2 questions down here. So for the first picture, you might think of what's happening before this picture to give you some ideas of your story. Or after. Now we do know what happens after, because if you look, there's 3 pictures. So this is the beginning, middle, and end. But you get to create the story. And the way you're going to create the story is asking questions in your head about what could possibly be happening. So we're going to start this off together. Now I'm going to tell you right now, all 3 of your stories are going to be different. So you don't have to copy what I put down here. This is just for example on brainstorming together, because you guys are going to pick a name for this boy and you're going to pick a situation for this boy, things like that. So everybody might have a different idea of what they want their story to be. So be thinking of that. But I'm going to write down kind of a combination of all of our thoughts, but then you get to do your own outline. Does that make sense? You can create your own story. Okay, good. So look at where Roman numeral 1 is. It says central fact. We wrote that in our notes. Central fact is the part that's literally happening in the picture, like what you literally see here. Okay, for example, I see a boy and I see that he's opening a box and he's happy, basically. That's pretty much all I know so far, what literally is in the picture. So I think it's a boy. I guess it could be a girl with short hair, so you get to decide. So I'm going to start with Jason. Can you think of a name for this person? Do you have a name in mind that you want to give your character? Could be anything. Think of a name.
Sorry, it won't let me on.
That's okay.
Okay. So looking at the future pictures for 2 or 3, it looks like he is curious about something. So let's call him Curious George.
Curious George. He's not a monkey, but that's all right. We can still call him Curious George. And you guys don't have to write this down if you want to think of something else. Curious George, and we're just going to put box. Remember, central fact means literally what's in the picture. And then from here, this is where we get into those big 6 questions. Okay. So I want you guys to each think of your own story. You don't have to write the same story. So think of your own. Why is he opening this box? Is it his birthday? Is it Christmas? Is it just because? Is it he got a good grade at school, maybe? I see Jason's hand. Let's brainstorm a minute. Why is he opening this box? Go ahead, Jason.
So it doesn't specifically give us a date, so I would just think a special occasion.
Special occasion, but you can see this is where you get to create your own. So you could say it's his birthday, even though it doesn't say that. This is where you get to make up stuff. So what do you think, Natalia? You think it's Christmas? You think it's his birthday? Or is it just a because gift?
I would think it's his birthday.
Okay, his birthday. What do you think, Ian? Go ahead and unmute.
I think he bought it.
Oh, maybe he ordered it from Amazon or
Yes.
something. All right,
Oh,
that's
and
another
also-
option.
And also, can we call him Bobby Joe?
You can call him Bobby Joe, yes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm going to keep saying this until you guys really understand. Your outline is going to look different than mine. Jason's is going to be different than Natalia's, and theirs is going to be different than Ian's. So everybody's going to have their own story. So I'm just going to put here ordered. Maybe where did he order it from, you think, Ian? Amazon or Amazon? Maybe like a week ago. I'll just put week. So you get the idea. You're going to jot down ideas for each of these pictures. Now, you're only looking at the first. I know it's okay to peek ahead because we see that, the situation changes here. But when you're writing your outline, your keyword outline, you're going to stick to the one that's next to the picture. So like Natalia's is going to say birthday, maybe from a gift from a friend or grandma. You're just going to start asking yourself if it's his birthday, maybe how old is he? Like what birthday is it? Is he turning 10 or maybe he's 13? Maybe it's a big birthday, like 13 is a big deal, turning into a teenager. And you get the idea, right? So start thinking about and we can tell he's happy. He's smiling, right? Happy. It's what he's always wanted. Maybe he saved up some money. If we go with Ian's idea of ordering something, maybe he saved up his money to buy this thing. Maybe he's been doing some jobs around the house or jobs in the neighborhood, like washing cars or taking out the trash and things like that. He's like earned a few dollars here and a few dollars there, and he earned enough money to buy this thing from Amazon. Could be. You see where I'm going with it? So you're going to ask these questions. Who is this? Why is he opening a present? what is the present? How did he get the present? Who, what, when, where, why, how, where is he? He's probably at home, it looks like, because I look ahead and it looks like he's outside of the house, maybe down here. So I'm going to pause on that. I just put down a few of your ideas, but you get the point. After class, when you have some good thinking time, you get to create what's happening in this picture by asking those questions. And now we're going to move on to the next one. So Jason, did you have something to say?
Yeah, so we can make our own stuff up, correct?
Correct. You can make your own
So-
stuff up.
What if we could say that this is just a thought to make it more of a thriller, but if he received a box from someone he doesn't know, he just thought it was nice of him, and it would be a mystery.
I like it. See? You're
Because it's a mystery that we're telling, so might as well just keep it a mystery.
I love it. Yep. Absolutely. That's a great idea. I love it. You can say that this box just showed up on his doorstep and he's totally surprised. He had no idea. I love that. Yep. You can go with that mystery. I love it. So then later you're going to finish with whatever plot you're thinking of, just jotting down some keywords. Now, it's okay to change this as you write it, okay? This isn't like set in stone. This is only to get your creative juices going. And then look at the second picture here. So the scene is different now. So Natalia, looking at this middle picture, what is the central fact? Remember that central fact is what's literally happening in the picture.
He's using whatever was in the box.
Okay, what does it look like in his
Mhm.
hands?
A remote.
A remote, good. And where is he in the picture?
Outside.
Outside. Who else is in the picture?
His mom, dad, and I'm assuming little brother or sister.
Yeah. Yeah. And where are they?
Inside. The family is inside.
And he's outside. So we could put he has a remote and he's outside. And maybe I'm just giving you examples here, so you don't have to copy exactly, but family, and then I'm gonna put some eyeballs here. They're watching, right? So he has a remote, he's outside and his family's watching. So that central fact is what's literally happening in the picture. That's what you guys are gonna start with. And then again, from here, this is where you get creative and ask yourself those big 6 questions. He still looks happy, that's good. Why is he looking up? Anybody want to give an idea of, I'm asking big 6 questions here. So why is he looking up, Ian?
He has a drone.
He has a drone. Okay.
Maybe the drone can like shoot Nerf bullets or something.
Oh yeah, you can have it do that. That's fine.
Or
with
like
me.
dump a bunch of Orbeez on people.
Perfect. You can get creative like that, Ian. I know you're going to have fun with this. I do want to say that I don't want any blood or gore. Okay. So stay away from that. But you can have
Can I
fun
put
with what
something
happens.
like can I put something like it ripped the guy's arm off?
You can say it ripped the guy's arm off, but I don't want to hear about squirting blood and guts and death and that kind of stuff. Okay. So
Okay.
you can get a little bit gory, I guess, but don't go crazy on me because I don't want to read about blood and guts.
Okay.
Can I just say how sad it is that you have to describe
I
like, what you
know.
can't do?
Because I know Ian and I know he's thinking and he's smiling and he's like, ooh, I can make this really cool. And it's like, usually I grade your papers early in the morning. I do not want to read about blood and guts and gore early in the morning. So don't do it. You can do
Ian's
some.
really about to drop into the battlefield.
You're just like they're like it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. There
Yeah.
was one happy kid opened a box. He was flying his drone around town and it ripped the guy's arm off. and they all died.
There was blood everywhere.
There was guts and gore, blood. What?
Yeah, okay. Just don't go crazy on that end. Anyway, it could be a drone. What else flies though? What else could it be? What else can you think of that it could be flying? Maybe a remote control airplane. Have you ever seen those before where it's shaped like an airplane? Yeah. Or a helicopter. Oh, you've got a shirt about that? Things, what does it say?
Things I do in my spare time. It's all planes on there.
Oh, very cool. Okay. So yeah, it could be like a classic fighter jet from 1952 or something like that, you know, or a Japanese bomber. It could be any kind of, like, if you're into history and stuff, you could make that up. It could be some kind of an airplane.
That
Okay.
blew someone up.
Yeah. Could be a helicopter, or it could be something super crazy like a flying fish that has, like, not a real fish, but like a fish shaped
Imagine it's
flying.
this dead fish in a box. Yay, Mommy, I'm so happy. You got me a dead fish in a box with a remote control.
And if you want to write about that, I love it. Do it. So you get to get creative. You guys get the idea, right? So here's,
And the fish came alive and ate somebody's arm off.
let's look at the last picture before Ian goes too crazy here. Obviously, their faces change on this one. So raise your hand and tell me, what do you think's going on? What is the central fact here? I know Ian's got an idea. Let me hear Jason first.
Okay, I have two things that I think could have go wrong.
Okay.
The most reasonable one, probably likely, that's it crashed, whatever he was controlling.
Okay.
B, just going crazy here. Robots are taking over the world, and he's next.
I can't wait to read these stories. I'm telling you, this is so fun. I love to read your stories. So yes, either one of those would work. Okay, Ian, what's yours? What do you think's going on?
Maybe the fish, the robotic fish,
Okay.
licked somebody.
Licked somebody?
Yeah, because they don't have tongues.
Okay. That's
'Cause fish
totally
don't have-
random.
Because fish don't actually have tongues. So I thought it would be funny.
I would see why they're scared for their life about that.
Yeah, that's a little creepy. Natalia, do you have an idea of what's going on here in this picture? Obviously, they look
I would
worried.
imagine something bad happened. Yeah.
Something bad happened. Yes. So he crashed into something maybe, or one of my students thought that maybe he lives across the street from the Dodger Stadium and his drone ended up, the battery died and it fell into the middle of the playing field. I was like, whoa, okay,
You'll
that's,
be famous.
yeah, there you go. So this drone could have a camera on it. Maybe he's like snooping around the neighborhood, looking at other people's stuff in their backyard. I mean, who knows, right? You get to get creative on this. So before you go, look really quick with me at the checklist.
Mrs. Naris,
Yes.
maybe he's going in a Dodger Stadium and he
Yeah.
has the camera and his favorite team just lost.
Maybe that's it. And he's mad and he's like, yeah, something. That's a good thought.
Also about the Dodger Stadium, maybe he just flew over the Dodger Stadium just to watch no commercials and watch the game.
I like that too.
And no commercials. Watch the halftime show.
And then he got too low and the batter swung the drone, mistaking it for a ball.
All right, we got to pause because we're almost out of time. We are out of time, but look at this checklist really quick. There's a couple of new things on here. Banned words. They've added good and bad. Now we're going to go over that more next time in class, but you can't use good anymore and you can't use bad anymore. So use words like terrific or fantastic or awesome for good, and for bad, terrible, horrible, miserable. Yeah, you got the idea.
This is a really bad thing.
Yes, so don't use bad. And then look here where it says quality adjective, that's a new dress up. So now you have 5 to put in each paragraph. So the quality adjective is describing the noun, and it just needs to be a very descriptive word. For instance, if you're talking about a rainbow, you could say the pretty rainbow, but if you say the colorful rainbow, colorful is more descriptive. It gives the reader more of an image of the rainbow. So be thinking of ways to describe your nouns. You can look up words online if your mom and dad are okay with that, but you know, this is a new thing on your list here. Somebody want to say something? Are you leaving? Okay, so your homework is to write those 3 paragraphs, get creative, use your outline here to give ideas down, ask your big 6. All right, you guys. Jason, did you have something to say?
Yeah, really quick. So you just making sure you want us to write all the paragraphs on the doc or in writing, of course. I'm a little confused.
Yeah,
And
Ian, hold on. I'm sorry. Ian, you are messing with the Zoom, and do not do that ever again. Do you understand me? That is not okay to do that. So whatever you just did, I don't want you to do that again. Do you understand? Okay. Sorry, Jason. I had to take care of that really quick. Go ahead.
yeah, so we're finishing the keyword outline, and we're also writing the 3 paragraphs, correct? All in one. Right.
Yes, and I got to tell you though, if
Okay,
it's
thank you.
easier for you to just write the story without the keyword outline, you can do that. That's okay with me, but sometimes the keyword outline helps get your creative juices going. So either way, I'm not going to have you attach the keyword outline. I'm just going to have you attach to your homework your 3 paragraphs, okay, based on those pictures. So that's your homework.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, you guys. So next time I see you, you'll be with one of your parents in a Zoom with me. And then after that, we'll be back to regular classes. So I'll see you guys next time.